These 8 warning signs may indicate complex post-traumatic stress disorder. CPTSD, or complex PTSD, is a subtype of PTSD that manifests after a person has endured significant trauma or abuse over a long period of time, particularly at the hands of someone they trusted. Causes symptoms comparable to those of PTSD but is often misdiagnosed as something else, like borderline personality disorder, leading to a lifetime of mistreatment. If you suspect you may be suffering from complicated PTSD but aren't sure where to begin diagnosing it, consider the following symptoms. Number 1, you live in perpetual danger detection mode. In response to trauma, the body becomes extremely alert. It's the state of being always on guard and alert for potential hazards. As a result, you're always on the lookout for prospective threats and tend to worry about the worst-case situation. As a result, your entire body is on high alert, tense, and ready to fight or flee at a moment's notice. Therefore, you don't like being surprised because it leaves you feeling exposed or insecure, which is why you despise spontaneity. You want to make sure that there are no last-minute adjustments to your plans or activity schedules, so you want to organize everything in advance. Number 2, you struggle to keep your emotions in check. Many people who have survived traumatic experiences often struggle with difficulties in regulating their emotions. It shows up as a lack of emotional regulation, an emotional overload, and a sense that one's emotions are at odds with one another. Understanding how your emotions are affected by PTSD might help you better navigate them. The brains of trauma survivors are wired to respond strongly emotionally to even the smallest of stimuli. Because of this, they frequently feel rage, in addition to impatience or annoyance. Number 3, you get unwanted thoughts or flashbacks. A fragrance, sound, or location can sometimes serve as a trigger for a quick recollection of the past. Overwhelmed by information, you panic. You may experience flashbacks to the distressing event and have problems telling reality from fantasy. Complex PTSD symptoms might also include intrusive, unwanted, recurrent thoughts. These ideas are typically negative and develop over time. But both can disrupt regular life and cause considerable suffering. Number 4, you often attribute your emotions to something else. One of the most prominent signs of post-traumatic stress disorder is the inability to form meaningful relationships with other people. As a result of its esoteric and abstract nature, it is also one of the most difficult concepts to explain. If you suffer from complex PTSD, you may have feelings of detachment or as though you are an outsider looking in at your own body. Feeling detached from your physical self and your awareness of the world around you can be a sign that you are no longer fully present in your everyday life. The entire world appears far away and clouded up. Dissociation can also present itself in the form of major memory gaps, especially when those gaps concern traumatic events. Number 5, nightmares and sleeplessness are a common problem for you. Complex PTSD can cause symptoms such as recurring nightmares. Many persons with the disease have them on a regular basis. This is because reoccurring, distressing dreams are brought on by the upsetting feelings that are still fresh in your memory when you go to sleep. The inability to fall asleep at night is another typical symptom, and one that can be brought on by hyperarousal. Number 6, you have troubled and choppy relationships. Complex friends, family, and romantic connections are all vulnerable to the corrosive effects of post-traumatic stress disorder. It's common to feel unworthy of good fortune or happiness. The familiarity of toxic relationships keeps you in them, even when you know better. If the abuse you experienced was at the hands of another, you may be dealing with conflicted emotions towards that person as well. You might, for instance, dwell on the past rather than heal and go on with your life, or you can get obsessed with the idea of revenge. Number 7, it's hard for you to focus. The symptoms of complicated PTSD can extend to impairments in attention and the ability to solve problems. A lack of motivation can make it hard to complete even the smallest of activities or stick to a schedule. This is because your brain has difficulty maintaining focus, making it difficult for you to maintain attention on a single task for extended periods of time. There could even be a lack of good judgment. In the presence of such symptoms, even operating a motor vehicle can be a challenge. Number 8, you think the worst of yourself and everyone else. People with complicated PTSD can have an incorrect perception of who they are. This might cause a person to have a bad self-image, even though the motivations behind their actions are sound. You can feel like there's something fundamentally wrong with you, or that you deserve what occurred to you during your traumatic experience. Sometimes we just need time alone to recharge our batteries. It's easy to lose faith in humanity when pressures become too much to bear and there are no safety nets to assist you weather the storm. If you let these feelings sit unchecked for a while, they can grow into something more debilitating like despair or hopelessness. Individuals who experience complex PTSD are not alone in their struggles. 8% of the general population will suffer with complicated PTSD at some point in their lives, according to the National Institute of Mental Health. Keep in mind that you did not cause your symptoms, and that they are the result of a traumatic event. When dealing with complex PTSD, taking care of yourself by getting help is a good place to start. Leave a like and a share if you found this video useful. It will encourage us to make more content like this. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to ensure you don't miss any future videos, and don't forget to activate that bell to receive alerts whenever new content is uploaded. You should also view our other videos. You're welcome for watching.